welcome to DIY with Nancy. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe that my mom shared with me, and that is bacalhau no forno. It's codfish in the oven. I call it that because coming home from work and school when I was living at home, and I'd ask her, Mom, what are you making for dinner today? And she says, oh, I'm making bacalhau no forno. So that's what we call it, and there's many names and many ways of making this. There's no right or wrong way. It's just a matter of how you taught or how you know how to make it. It's a very delicious Portuguese dish, and I hope you stay with me to watch how to make bacalhau no forno step by step.
In a medium-sized saucepan, I have water boiling, and I'm going to add seasoning, just a little salt before I add the codfish. Here I have 1,200 grams of deboned codfish. Now, codfish is salted. I've soaked it in water overnight to remove some of the salt, and I'll be placing the codfish in the boiling water. Once the water comes to a boil, you're going to leave the codfish in for an additional 5 to 7 minutes, as the rest of the cooking will take place in the oven. As my mother would say, é só dar uma fervura que o bacalhau vá para o forno. For the next step, in a fry pan, I'm placing about 3 cups of extra virgin olive oil. I'm turning my stove on to medium heat. Here I'm placing 2 large diced onions in the olive oil. To the onions, I'm going to start off by adding 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of white ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of peperika, which is also known as plural in Portuguese, and 2 tablespoons of pimenta moída, which is a pepper sauce. Stir together all the ingredients with the onions and make sure your heat is on low heat. Here I'm adding a pinch of salt to the onions. I'm adding one last ingredient to the onions, and that is half a cup of chopped parsley. And you're just going to put that in just before you turn off the stove. After 3 to 4 minutes, turn off your stove and you'll end up with onions in an olive oil sauce that smells amazing, just like this. Now this will be the sauce that I'm setting aside for the bacalhau. Next, I'll be removing the codfish from the water that has come to a boil for the last 7-8 minutes and placing it on a separate bowl. I'll be placing the potatoes in the same codfish water. I'm just going to try the water for seasoning, see if it needs a little salt. Definitely needs salt. So I'm going to place some salt, and of course you use that for your discretion and see the amount of salt that you may or may not need before you place your potatoes in the water. Next, I'm placing 10 large potatoes that I've cut in rounds in the water to boil. The potatoes will be boiling for approximately 6 to 7 minutes once the water comes to a boil. Now that the water has come to a boil, I'm placing 5 eggs to boil together with the potatoes. Altogether, I've been boiling the potatoes and eggs for about 7 minutes, both of them combined, and the oven will be doing the rest of the cooking. Carefully, I'll be removing the potatoes and eggs and placing it in a strainer with a bowl underneath. Once the codfish cools, I've taken apart the pieces of cod into smaller pieces just like this. I'll also be adding 19 ounces of pre-cooked chickpeas to the bacalhau. It's time to put together a bacalhau no forno. I have here an 11 by 14 Pyrex glass tray, and I'll first be placing a layer of potatoes, then a layer of codfish, then chickpeas, then the egg, and then I'll be placing the sauce on top, and I'll be doing that in 2 layers, and I'll show you how to do that step by step. Once you have your first layer of potatoes, next you're going to place your codfish on top of the potatoes, just as I'm doing here. Next, I'm placing a layer of the chickpeas. Next, I'm cutting the eggs into rounds and placing them on the chickpeas. Next, I'll be placing the delicious sauteed onions in the olive oil sauce. Done with the first layer, and now I'm going to start the second layer, just repeating the process. Again, place the potatoes, then the codfish, then the chickpeas, the eggs, and the onion with the olive oil. I'm now going to place the codfish in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. And there you have it. The bacalhau no forno is ready to be served.
Okay everyone, that was my recipe for codfish in the oven, bacalhau no forno. A few things I'd like to let you know about codfish is when you buy it, you can buy it with the bone in or deboned. I use the deboned version, and when you purchase it, it's very salty. And so what I did before making the recipe is I placed the codfish in water for over 24 hours, changing the water several times just to remove some of the salt from the codfish. So when I'm making the recipe, I'm not heavy on the salt because the codfish already has a little bit of salt. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that. As well, this is a dish that you can pre-make on a weekend for the weekday, or you can make it the night before if you're working. And you know what? You get home, you don't feel like making anything, you already have it in the fridge. All you have to do is remove it, place it in the oven, and voila, you have bacalhau no forno ready to go in a matter of 20 minutes. So I hope you all enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care, everyone.